What if I just kept the cosplay on the entire video? Would anyone really care? Hey, what's up, guys? It's Steph, and this is, or at least it has been, because it's the last day of the year this video is going up, the best reading month I may have ever had in my life. Like, it is insane right now how many books I have currently read, and how I'm reading one that will bring me to 11 books read in the month of December. Like, what? This is completely unheard of for me. I obviously don't have all of them. As you saw on the thumbnail, there are only about 5. Half of them were library loans, so they're obviously back because, unfortunately, you have to give those books back. However, I do own about half of my red TBR thing that there was, and I really can't believe I got through this many books. What? Who even am I? So I guess I should go through the order that I read them in on my fancy page that lets me keep track of things. Hell yeah. So the first one I won't talk too much about because I actually made a full video on it. It was my most meh book of 2018. And that is Fierce and Subtle Poison by, I didn't write down the author. So that's fun. If you want to check out that one, I think it was Samantha Maybury. I will leave the link in the icon description down below to that video. It just really wasn't that good of a book, and the characters weren't too good. I don't know. I really didn't like it. It was a really flat story for me. That I wanted so much more from it. The cover was so pretty. It takes place in Puerto Rico. It had such potential, but then it just, I was sad. Next up is a manga called My Brother's Husband, which takes place in Japan, and it is about this Japanese father and daughter, and the father's brother just recently died, and so he's trying to come to terms with that. Well, same time, his brother's Canadian husband comes, and so you just kind of learn, like, he's like there, and he's like, homophobia is kind of set in Japan. So like this, the dad is really like, oh my gosh, this gay guy is with my daughter, and this gay guy, like, oh my god. And you see him like change from this guy who's like, oh my god, like he keeps it in. He doesn't like spew anything at the Canadian husband, his brother's husband. But like you see him like internally struggling, like, well, this is what I'm told, but this is what I'm witnessing. And just like to see the acceptance and growth. It's really nice. It's just really good. I recommend that book a lot. I need to read the second volume immediately because the way the first one ended, oh my goodness. Next up is a book that one of my booktube friends sent me for Christmas, and that's One of Us is Lying. This book is so freaking good. Oh my god. This book was insane. I loved it so much. The ending, I did not see that coming. Oh, this book is spicy. I know it's kind of older, like booktube. I think it came out next 2016. But oh my god, this book was so freaking fantastic. I'm so excited that she chose this one off my wish list to get me because, holy crap, it was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. I want to talk about it, but everything is spoilers with this book. Just read it, it's fun. I think One of Us is Lying is probably my favorite book from this month that I read. It was so good. Next up is one, If I Was Your Girl. If I Was Your Girl. And this one is about a trans girl who is just, she moved towns and she's starting a new life living with her dad in this new town, and no one knows her secret. Well, she's keeping it a secret so she can live as her true self without the kind of backlash of, because it's in the South, the kind of like, you know, like, you're not really who you say you are, even though she is, you know? And you see her living her best life and thriving, and then obvious YA points happen, maybe not in the most expected way, but obvious YA points happen, and you see how she deals with that, and it was so good. It was so beautiful and heartwarming. I loved watching Amanda live her best life, and I really enjoyed that book. Next up is one called Beneath by, once again, I didn't write down the author. Cool, nice going, Steph. So Beneath about this guy, Patrick, whose brother runs away and goes missing for about 2 years, I think, and he goes searching for him, and he ends up finding him in, like, these tunnels underneath New York, and there's, like, this whole, it was crazy. There's a whole labyrinth of people that live in the subterraneans beneath New York, and just the style of the story, it was a really interesting, like, style, because you had some chapters where it was just, like, the tape recordings that Patrick's brother would send him, because he didn't like to write anything down. He would send tape recordings, so you'd have chapters just reading Patrick listening to these tape recordings, and just sometimes they were just really short, and just the style of it, I don't know how to describe it. It was a really interesting style, and it was really, I think it really fit with that story being told. Like, I've never seen a style like that, and it really kind of makes me want to read the second book, which is called Above, I believe, and it was a really interesting book, and like I said, it kind of pulled me into wanting to read the second, so that's some success right there. Next on the list is Broken Banana, the book about the guy who broke his thing during intercourse. Fun. This book, wow, I tabbed it. I didn't know if I wanted to do a full book review on it. I had some people being like, yes, I want that. But at the same time, like, I don't know what to say with this book review. It was really funny. It was a Kickstarter from a comedian. So that's where it came into view. I did not get the Kickstarter. I was just short of having the money for it, but I did get it on Amazon later. And it's like 100 something pages of, my god, it's the lead up, the happening, and then the recovery from then on. And it's really nice since it is based on a true story. It's really kind of open ending, which is what life is. But I really enjoyed that about the ending and how it was kind of open ended. It's like, hey, these things didn't get worked out, and I don't know if they will get worked out. Here's what did work out. It works now. Oh my god, it was just a funny book. If you can stomach that kind of stuff, because it does get a little bit graphic at times, I'd recommend it if you want to laugh, because this is pretty hilarious, though graphic, and it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. Next on the list is the highly anticipated Artemis Fowl. I decided to read this one because I knew the trailer was coming out, and I kid you not, I finished this, I went to go see Into the Spider-Verse, I finished this a few days before Into the Spider-Verse, and I went to go see Into the Spider-Verse, and that was the first time I ever saw the Artemis Fowl trailer on that big screen, and my mind was freaking blown. And then I'm sitting there, because I went twice, I went with my friends the second time, and he's super hyped for the Artemis Fowl movie. Like, this was his thing in middle school. He told me how he would translate the pages on the bottom, or like the words on the bottom, which I didn't know you could do until he told me that, so I'm going to be doing that as I read through all the books. And, oh, like, just seeing his excitement got me even more hyped, because, like, I can definitely see the appeal of turning this book into a movie. It wasn't my favorite book. Maybe if I read it when I was younger, I would have been like more into the book itself. But that movie trailer, oh my god, that looks so good. Have you seen it yet? I'll link it up there. Like, if you haven't seen the Artemis Fowl movie trailer yet, oh my god, that looks so good. I'm so excited. I can't believe we have to wait like over half a year for that. I'm sad about that part, but that gives me enough time to read all the books, so I can be ready. I'm hyped for it, because like I said, I can definitely see the appeal of turning this story into a movie. And like, I can read it off as like just kind of visualizing it as a movie. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so intrigued, and hope they don't mess it up. I'm so excited. Next up is one that came out over a year ago, and that is Cloaked in Shadow by Ben Alderson. Now, fun story with this one. I pre-ordered it back when it first came out, so it arrived, and then I didn't read it. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to read it on this road trip I have from California to Arkansas. And I read a bit of it, but not much of it. And just throughout the year, I've been reading little bits. I really enjoyed it, but then I finally, like, set myself down. I was like, no, you're going to read this book and you're going to like it. And so I got the book done. It was so good. I don't know why my brain was only, like, handling it in little spurts. Maybe because fantasy isn't my main genre. But this book is so good, and it's, I loved it so much. The magic is so interesting. The plot is so interesting, and how it's going to lead into the other books, because I believe this is a trilogy, and I believe all the books are out now, plus I believe a prequel series about the Prince Hadrian, and this was so good, and plus the cover is so pretty, and all the covers are so pretty. I'm glad I finally finished it, and all the books are out now, so I can just jump right into them when I get them. Yeah! I'm really excited to have this one finally finished. You guys don't know how long I've been looking at it and just, like, mad at myself that I haven't been finishing it. But it's finally done, and I'm so happy. Next up is an e-arc from Krista Street, Retribution, which is a continuation on her Lost Children trilogy that came out last year or the year before? End of 2016, early 2017. It's that one that first, like, when I first started to get back into reading, I discovered it and I just started reading it, and I somehow became a beta reader for Krista Street, and I love it so much. I love her stuff. I love her storytelling. It's so fun. And Retribution is just, like I said, a continuation of the Lost Children trilogy. That series is all wrapped up with a little bow, but we're getting another jump into their lives and just seeing where they're at. I believe this takes place a year or two after the main events of the first series, and just seeing how the family has grown, how they're doing, and what they're doing now. Oh, it's so good, and there's one thing I really want to talk about, but I can't because it's a spoiler, but when I read it, I was like, oh my god! I was like really excited. But it's a short one. It's only about 178 pages, so it's not that long, but oh, I'm so excited. Well, it is out now. It actually came out December 26th, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description down below. It was so fun to jump back into this universe and these characters. I just loved it. Finally on the list before the one that I'm reading right now, and I didn't bring out with me. Yikes. I read the first volume of the Umbrella Academy Apocalypse Suite. I said it right that time, by Gerard Way and Gabrielle Ba. Oh my god, this has been on my anticipated read list for a while, and I got it for Christmas. So Christmas Day, Christmas night, I read the whole thing. I was so excited, and this one has some early concept drawings for the characters, as well as some short stories with some of the characters before it came out as a full comic. And oh my goodness, this was so cool. I love this. I want to read the other volumes so much. This was so fun. Oh, now I finally understand the cover, because I didn't want to look into spoilers, but I always wanted to read these. Emo trash right here, so of course I wanted to read this. I also want to read the Fabulous Adventures of the Killjoys. I know I said it wrong, don't come for me, I'm tired. It's the end of the year. But yeah, this is just a comic books, a collection of all the 5 or 6 there are in the Apocalypse Suite series. And I loved it. It was so fun. That was so good. I was so excited to get it and finish it and count that towards all my reading stuff. Finally, come to the book I'm currently reading and trying to finish before the end of the year, and that is Fishbowl by Bradley Sommer. I'm not enjoying it a lot. It's weird. I came into this book because it was at Dollar Tree. It was supposed to be about this fish who fell from the 26th story of a building, and he's seeing glimpses of all these people's lives. So it sounded interesting. That many pages about a fish? I'm in. Get in there, the first chapter, it talks about how the fish doesn't fall until the very last chapter. So it's I hit my knee with the pointy bit. What did I even come here for? It's okay. These characters are okay. There's obviously the ones you're supposed to dislike, obviously the ones you're supposed to kind of feel for. I came for the fish, man. And there's this one lady, wowza! She seemed calm enough and innocent enough, and then she gets a phone call, and you're just oh my god, no spoilers, but holy balls, man! Holy balls! I am only about 49 pages into this book. It feels like a slow read. I'm trying to get through it. I wanted to finish it before 2018 or 2019. Because it's less than 300 pages, but I'm struggling, man. Oh, a really cool thing about this book, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but if you flip the pages really fast, you can see the fish swimming to the bottom of the page. So that's fun. I wish the fish would go by faster as I'm reading it, but it won't, so there's also that. And that's all I got for you guys today. That is my final wrap-up of 2018. My final video of 2018, although don't tell anyone, but I filmed Friday's video in 2018. Shh. I wanted to make sure I had some stuff pre-filmed. Not like you'll be able to tell because my hair is a mess from it. I had to comb it, so the curls, they turned to this. How was your guys' reading month, reading year, whatever? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you guys have been doing. Have you read any of the books that I read this month? These ones and the other ones I mentioned, because I would love to hear your thoughts too. Let's talk about it. They're following. Okay, they're good. They're not gonna. There we go. Just ignore my rambling. We're moving on to the last part. If you want to check out some of my other videos from the year, I'll leave 2 of them right over here for your viewing pleasure, if I can say the right words, right over here. Please enjoy those. If you want to subscribe, my face will be right here, as well as the button down there. Get the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos on Mondays and Fridays. Whoop, whoop. And that's all I've got for you guys this year. I hope you have a lovely day / night, and Happy New Year's! Woo!